So the last lecture we finished with the programming of own publisher and subscriber to make one total move somehow and to receive the messages. Well, we understood everything about publishing and subscribing. Now we will talk about the services. Do you remember that on the last lecture there was the command to spawn one total? That happened with the mechanism that is called services. We know that wait, I need to wait. That when we're talking about topics, we have several publishers to the topic. We have the topic and several subscribers. So they are somehow connected. And if we if we consider the messages during the time, for example, this publisher published the message at time, I don't know, 1. Then this one published at time 2, this one published at time 3. And if one of the subscribers, for example, listens to the topic from the time 0, one from the time 1.5, and this one from time I don't know 2.5. 2.5. This means that the first subscriber would receive all 3 messages. This one would receive only message number 2 and number 3, and the last one will receive only the last message. And this is okay for interconnection through the topics. When every message in ROS master has its own timestamp, and it recognizes who should receive the message from the topic. This situation comes with some restrictions for the system, and I mean that sometimes we want to strictly receive the message, even if the subscriber, I put this word in quotes, doesn't even ready now for the receiving. For example, we want to send the message, and when we agree to wait a little bit, but we really want this message to be received. This happens with services. In this particular way, the service spawn is not really important to be the service. It could be also just some message from the topic. In general, services are the commands that always are provided with a response. So the only way to make sure that the receiver received the message is to get the response. In the situation with spawn, there also was a response. It responded with a string with the name of the total. Let me show you once again how did it work. ROS core, ROS run, total sim node. I forgot to launch the X server. And once again, and here I just call ROS service call spawn with some parameters and the name, very long name, and it responds me with one string. So generally, every service should respond with something. In this particular case, it responds with a string. Where is my chat? Yeah, hello. So let's go further. As well as topics, we can use some commands to see existing topics, existing nodes, or not nodes, existing services, existing messages of service, and so on. So if I say ROS service info and this service spawn, it will say that which node waits for the command of the service, what is the type of message, and what are the arguments for the service, X, Y, theta, and name. So if I ask the type of this message, it will also return these parameters and also the request, the response. I use the command ROS SRV show. Don't how to say it in English. Don't mismatch it with the command ROS service. So ROS service is the analog to the ROS topic, and ROS SRV is the analog to ROS MSG. So if I ask ROS SRV show turtle sim spawn, it will say that there are 4 parameters x, y, theta, and name, and the response is name. So if you remember correctly, if I say ROS MSG show and just something from total sim, what, for example, pose, it will say also some parameters, but without 3 minuses, without 3 dashes. This is the difference between files of service and message. I think that during this lecture we will create our own, doesn't matter which service or message, and we'll see how it's done. Okay, so if you want to call the service through Python, it is done exactly in this way. I won't create the code, maybe I will. Well, let's see further. Let's just look at this code on the slide. So if we just look through every code, what we can see. Input ROS_PY is easy. Init node is easy. From total sim SRV instead of MSG, let me show you the code from the previous lecture where we're talking about publisher and subscriber. There was import ROS_PY, there was import type of message from package.msg, init node, publisher, publish. For the subscriber, there was import ROS_PY, also the message, init node, subscriber spin, and the callback for the subscriber. That was the behavior of the subscriber that was described in the previous lecture. About the service, if we want to call the service, if we are some kind of publisher, if we want just to send the comment and to receive the answer. So instead of MSG, we import SRV, since this kind of message differs from the kind of message from the topic. So it contains in the different folder it is contained. So init node is the same. Wait for service is the command that is not very necessary, but it is required if this subscriber for the service is not exist yet. So exactly that situation that I showed on the Paint. If for some reason we called for the service before it appears in the system. So for this case, we can just wait for it, block the current thread before this service appears. And the main function is called service proxy. So instead of publish, we just instead of publisher, we create the service proxy. This is the object that has the parameters of name of service and type of message and nothing else. And this is the function, basically. The function that we can call with specific parameters, exactly that are the parameters of the service, x, y, theta, and name. So instead of calling the function from the object, here we don't create the object, we create just a function and call it. This is how does it work in for the client, for the publisher. And this res is the special object with the of the type spawn response. When we create, so the spawn is the name of the file. When we create the, not to create, when we make the package, when we generate the classes from these files, there are created spawn response and spawn request classes. We will look at that. Let me show you how to do it to see it more specifically. Okay, to my workspace. My workspace. src my package. Yeah, come on. Okay, somewhere in my package. Let's say gadget. No, not gadget. In my package, it is important that we should put messages and services files into specific folders. So we have to make dir srv, cd srv. Then we should get it some file. Let's call it my srv. Doesn't matter. .srv. .srv. So and here we put in ROS with ROS types the part of the message. Let's say it would be int 32 request, and the response will be like string response. These types are the specific ROS types, and to know which types exist, you should look at the wiki. You also can put the array that will be converted in C++ into vector. In Python, there would be just the cortege, as far as I remember. So I created the SRV, then I go to, this is I. So once again, in this file, there is only 3 lines. Then I go a little bit up, then I have to edit a little bit CMake file. Edit CMake file. As far as I remember, for generation, I need here yesterday msguess, no, message generation. I'm not sure about this dependency. As far as I remember, it should be here, but maybe it won't work even with this. Let's see a little bit. Let's see a little bit further if I will get some problems. Declare ROS message service in action. To declare yep, a build depends from message generation, exec depend for each package, blah blah blah. Message runtime I would need. So here I need the message generation in find package. In catkin package, I also should, what I should do in catkin package, add message runtime every package to catkin package. Catkin package catkin depends. Package catkin depends. Over here I should put the message generation, message runtime, I mean, like it is said here. No, message generation you should put here. Let's get the quiet components. So message generation. What else? Custom package. What? No. Catkin generation to catkin required components is over here, and message runtime to catkin package catkin depends over here. What else? What else? I have to generate the S3 folder. This there will be the files that is called, as far as I remember, my SRV. It was called .srv, and I think that's all. Now, yep. Also here. Well, it's not really important as far as I remember, because we don't use any of the MSGs, but still let it be here. And that's it. So if I just close it and get it also package XML, I said that we also have build depend from yesterday MSGs. We also have the build depend from message generation, and we have the exact depend from message runtime. If I remember correctly, everything should work fine right now. Runtime. Okay, let's see. let's go to our package. My workspace, it was here. Yeah, it was here, and just say cat can make. No, it failed. Forget to specify generate messages dependencies. Where? Where? So not definitely here. Generate messages. What? Dependencies? Could not find messages which depends on. It doesn't depend on anything. What's wrong? Once again, could not find messages which my SRV depends on. Did you forget to specify? Cannot locate. In 32. What? ROS SRV show turtle sim. Wow. From the maybe I made a typo in the file of service. Let's go here. Okay, get it. SRC, my package, SRV, my service. So let's say from the here, int and string. Okay, now. Great. Now it's generated. So let's look somewhere to, as far as I remember, at Devil, there are generated files. Include my package. Yeah, you see, there are of course C++ files, but somewhere here there also be the Python files. The Python files. I just don't remember where to find them. Let's look at them. What has generated? There is the struct of my SRV with request and response to type defs. My SRV request, my SRV response. Here are the request and response. The only thing that they contain, they contain int32 and basic string. Well, there are also some generated code here for that is also useful and required, but the only thing that we should understand that the main class of generated service contains request and response, which contains int32 and string as we asked. So what was it? Why did I show it to you? So if you have your own service, you always have response and request. And when you create your server, you need both generally, response and request. So you may not import the request separately, because you can import just the main package. You also should not import basically the response, because it's enough to import only the main class, and it will has both response and response and request. But you should remember that for in general the behavior is just the same as for subscriber. So you init node, you create the service instead of subscriber, and you spin. And the constructor for the service is just the same as for subscriber. The name of service, the type of message, and the callback. Here, the type of message is the whole class. But when you return something, you always have to return the response. And when you get the request, it is also the type of the request. So in publisher, I spin on the one page back here. There is the implicit constructor of the spawn request. If you want to put here the specific object, you have to create the spawn request object with specific parameters, and it would be put over here. And then you have to return the spawn response that is expected over here. Is it clear what I have done? Why did I show? So once again, why did I show you all this mess with the CMake file? It was done only for the purposes to show you how the file of these lines is converted into classes. Yes, it took some things for us from the for editing the CMake file, but I don't want you to pay a lot of attention to this CMake file. The most important thing that I want to show you that you can create your own file of with some specific structure of service, and it can be generated to specific ROS classes that you can use from your own program, and also already built service messages are done in the same way. Somewhere deep inside the ROS folders, there are files with extension of SRV that also contain the same structure with some response type, then 3 dashes, and some request part, dashes, and response type part. And it is generated. There are generated a lot of classes, C++ and Python classes from these files that you can use from your source code. And once again, services are used to deliver very important messages that are used for the response. Well, there are some tasks I don't really want to ask you to do them. So in general, the how to say it, common task on service is to create a client that sends two integers to a service, and service multiplies or sums them. You can do it not so you can just try to implement this task. Is not you shouldn't send it to me. It's just for your knowledge, just your a little very little homework that I won't check, just for you to make sure that you understand everything. Okay, that was the little part from previous lecture when we used this command to create another turtle, but I didn't explain a lot about it. You see why it took me about 20 minutes to discuss how does it work and how can you use it in general. Okay, let's go further. The last part of ROS is the launch files. So this is the last topic in this part, of course, and after this part I will a little bit update the homework task, and I will send it as I promised last week. I'll send the task for you in emails, and you will have about 3 weeks to complete it. This will be about the ROS part. Then we will switch to other parts of the autonomous driving, and we won't need ROS almost to the very last topic of this course. We'll speak about further. We'll speak more about autopilots, but the ROS part will be useful for you for the very last task. How to say? Okay, the last topic of the first topic, launch files. The most important purpose of the launch files is to make the nodes to be launched at once. So you can see that I used a lot of terminals. Well, some of them were used for Git, of course, for editing files. Should we what? My chat. Should we hand in the homework last week? I don't understand you. What do you mean by hand? Submit. You will have several home tasks. One of them I introduced on the last lecture to implement the turtle that moves after another turtle. this one. It will be improved with the launch files right now, and you will have 3 weeks to submit it. I will, maybe it will be done in Moodle, maybe in email. I'm not sure yet how I will do it. And after that, you will have also several homeworks, and there will be one megazord, one extra super mega task that is bigger than all other. And this big task will require ROS. That is the only thought that I wanted to tell you. Should you submit this work in the very last week or not? Maybe not. Maybe you will have like several weeks to complete this work. I didn't plan actually. Will it happen? Exactly in the December it will happen. Oh, it's in Russian. Sorry, it is called December. It starts on the Monday. So maybe you will have several weeks on Tuesday. Several how to say it? Several attempts to submit it. But if we're talking about this particular homework for ROS, you will have 3 weeks for it. Okay. So back to launch files. When you want to run the ROS node, you use the command ROS run. ROS run package name of node. If you want to launch the launch file where you put several nodes, you use the command ROS launch. So don't be afraid of when I will put this command. This is just another command for launching something. The structure of launch file is pretty easy. It is an XML file that starts and ends with the launch tag. There are several tag nodes. So let me show you how to create the easiest launch file, and we will update it during this lecture. Let's say in my package we'll put the launch file. src my package. We'll put it over here. So touch launch file dot launch. It has the extension launch, and the name isn't important. You will just use this file by this name. We should not add any permissions for this file. It should not be executable. Just should be the text file. So get it lf dot launch. So it begins with launch, as I said, and ends with launch. Then in the middle, the easiest tag here is the tag node. It can be closed in the same line. So you can put the tag node in one line with all the parameters over here, or you can have the multi-lines tag of node. But let's start with the easiest thing. Well, it has 4 how to say it, necessary parameters. First of them is package, where you specify the package. For example, turtle sim. Then it will be the type of the executable, name of executable, turtle sim node. And then the important parameter is name. When you run the node from the terminal, you just say ROS run turtle sim node. You can launch it without specifying the name. But when you launch it in the launch file, you should always specify the name, and you cannot apply the default name. So always there will be some name. And another important tag is output. You can output whether to screen or to log. So here you can put screen, or you can put log. if you forget, so this tag, I was wrong. This tag is not necessary. You can forget to put it, but by default, it is published into log, and you won't see anything on the screen. So output is equal to screen is important for total sim. You can run another node in this launch file. For example, if I want total teleop key, total teleop key, there you come on key, and with name splinter, and that's it. So if I just launch this file, from my workspace, I say source devel setup bash. Don't forget to do it when you use your own packages. And then I can say ROS launch, my package, and the launch file. Another launch. Was wrong. Line 5. Yeah, not closed tag. Let me close everything to show you that it can work without ROS core. This is its feature. If you forgot to run ROS core, you still can launch the launch files. It launches the ROS core by itself. So once again, change this to microspace, source devel setup bash. In every new terminal, you have to invoke this command if you want to use your own packages. ROS launch my package lf.launch. It says that it launched Leonardo and Splinter, and I can manage the turtle from this terminal. You see that I launched only one terminal, but I can launch simultaneously two nodes. This is powerful thing. Okay. Oh yeah, well, let's do it once again. They will show you when turtle hits the wall, it publishes some messages in the terminal. So if it will hit the wall, we will see that this warnings appears in this terminal. Okay. Also, for some reasons, get it. Src my package lf launch. For some reason, sometimes you will want to have the node not in one line, but in multi-lines tag. If you want to set up some parameters, then you have to close it separately as the usual XML tag. And here you can put some specific parameters. Which parameters you can put here? Well, the easiest command is param. Param name with some name and the value with some value. That also should be closed. And another important thing is remap. Well, let's see. For the total sim, well, let's see if there are some parameters for the total sim. Turtle sim. As far as I remember, the color of the background, we can change the color with the parameters. Let's see video tutorials, and where are the parameters? Background B, background G. Okay, let's say param value that is called background B. Background B would be 0. Also, G would be 255, and the red would be 0. Let's try in this way. Let's just see if we can put the parameters for the total sim. Maybe this won't work because of this thing. If it won't work because of this thing, then I show you how we can fix it. So once again, my workspace source devel setup bash ROS launch my package lf.launch. Yeah, it didn't work. It didn't work because this thing means that this is a global name. These parameters are the local for this particular node. I also can specify parameters not inside the node, but for the whole launch file. So if I just put them in the global scope, they will be captured from here. This is the magic of this particular symbol. Further, we will implement our own reader of parameters, and we will see that we can add or remove this symbol, and we will catch whether these parameters or this. So these are redundant right now. They are not captured. Captured exactly these parameters. Let's check this. Kill this and launch again. No? Again, no? Really? Okay. What if I will find the truth? Okay, let's check which of them worked. I guess this worked. Nope, not this. This worked. Yeah. Okay. New knowledge. Global parameters should also start with tilde. How does it called in English? In Russian, it's called tilde. Okay, doesn't matter. With this parameter, with this symbol, and they should be both in global, and we start with this symbol. Okay, let's reconnect and continue because we have only 1 minute left for Zoom. Let's reconnect right now. Okay, let's carry on. Okay, let's switch total sim to our particular node, one of them, just to make sure that we work correctly with all parameters. Okay, in our package, let's see. In my package, there is the node listener.py, get listener.py. No, I don't like this. Get square.py. Okay, let's work with this one. Let's work with this one that publishes something to total sim. So we won't run total. Wait a bit. Okay, yeah. Let's delete total sim node. Let's work with. Wait a bit. I added this parameter to total op key, and they of course didn't work. But if I put these parameters inside right node, the correct node, a little bit mess over here. Param. Closing node here and node here. And now it is correctly. Let me remove them and add the local parameters and see if they would work. So once again, offline. Yeah, okay. Okay, this worked. Fine. Oh, all right. These parameters for the sim work. Okay. Good to know it. Let's now work with the parameters of our node. So now here we put we launch the total without, let's say with these parameters, and we also want to launch our own node from package my package of type is equal to square.py. Name would be translator with no reason. Output would be also screen. Okay, I shouldn't forget to put the closing tag. And let's say I have parameters param name let's say that would be the speed of total, and the value 3 in screen. Yep, screen, and the value is equal to, let's say, 1 for the beginning. Okay, and here in square.py, I should receive this parameter. Well, it is easy. I don't need 2 totals. I need only 1 publisher. I want to a little bit update this code. So init node publisher to total 1 cmdvl, twist, move forward. Okay, move forward. It needs also the parameter of velocity. Exactly the one that we will pass over here. So it will be equal to velocity. No publish 2, only publish 1. So what does it do? It moves forward to some velocity that we'll specify right now. That will sleep, rotate, and do it in the cycle. Time sleep. Okay, time sleep 1. Okay. Rate sleep means that we'll do it 0.5 times per second, once in 2 seconds. 1 second we will need for moving forward and sleeping. Moving forward, 1 second we will need to rotation. Okay, so over here we should capture the parameter velocity. Velocity will be equal to, I don't remember the exact. Yeah, exactly this thing. ROS_PY.getParam with name of the parameter. ROS_PY getParam, but as far as I remember, we named it speed. Yes, speed. So this is how we get the parameters from the launch file. Let's check it. Something went wrong. What was wrong? Key error speed. What is wrong? It just died. Param server, param name, what? Huh. That is interesting. Okay, let's say no. Okay, let's say type is equal to float. Unknown type float. Okay, let's ask ROS launch file float param value type double. It should be double. It should be double. My double. Try again. Nope, this didn't work. What's wrong with your speed? In this parameter. I can't understand what's the problem. Okay, if I say if I remember wrong, and this symbol means not the global, but vice versa local parameter. If this would work out now, that means that is, yeah. Okay. So what did we learn here? So tilde, this symbol means the local parameter. If we read the parameter from the from this namespace, we should put the tilde. Let's check it. Let's check it and put the parameter speed, remove it from here, put it here, and remove the symbol from here. If I'm right about the global and local namespace, it will work just the same. Yes, I put the global parameter without anything here, and I remove anything from here. No, I'm wrong. Sad. Okay, the only thing that, by the way, and just if I put over here, if I put it back here, how would it work? What? Really? There is no way to determine the local and the global parameter? Really? Both of them need tilde? Something wrong here. It should not work in this way. But it works. Okay, I'll find out the problem. There definitely should be the difference in global and local parameters in the source code over here, but I just don't remember it. My fault. I'll explain it on the next lecture. Okay. Let's just think that there are no global parameters at all. There are only local parameters, and we know how to manage them with the symbol. Okay, if you just change it to something else, we will see that the total also will move with a different speed. So it moves much faster. This is how does it work in general. I also sometimes would like to specify these parameters not from the deep from something inside the file, but sometimes I would like to specify the parameters from the parameters of the, how to say it, from the terminal. So if I want to specify speed from here, for example, what should I do? For this way, there is the specific word argument, and this is always global. Arg name that is equal to something. For example, let's say it is called fastness. Even if it is not English name, I just don't want to put the name speed and name velocity. I want to put another name. And there should be, they can be or maybe not some default value. Let's say the default value would be 1.0. And if I want to put here the value of this argument, I put the argument. I just don't remember if I put it, we should put it here or in the brackets. I don't remember. Let's check it. So since I put the default parameter, I should not specify anything from here, but I can do it. Let's just check if it will work. No, it doesn't work. Okay, back inside the quotes. Still no. Line 13. What's wrong with line 13? Ah, yeah, sure. I forgot to close the bracket. Yeah, so I was right. It should be here. Ah, yeah, I forgot to put the name of the argument. Fastness. And now this is specified. So yeah, once again, if I want to put the argument that I can handle from the terminal, I should instead of tag param use the tag argument. This is always global. It has a name. It can also have a type, and it has a default value. I can change it. Please die. With if I want to say fastness is equal to like 4. Enter. and this way it moves faster. I can use any value here. Wait, one, for example, 10. It will be even faster. Come on, please do something. Yeah, so it moves as fast as possible. Okay, if I forget to specify this parameter, it will take the default value. But if I forget to specify the default value, it will say that I cannot launch it because this argument should be set. If I specify it, fastness is equal to, pay attention that it is not just equal, it's column equal to something. That will work okay. All right, this is how to work with parameters. And the very last thing that I should tell about the launch files is also the very, how to say it, powerful feature to change the name of the topics. Do remember that here I hard code the topic. Let's say that I want to use exactly this launch file to put the comments to another total. For example, I want to launch the total sim in this launch file. I will manually create the total with another name. Let's look how it is done. Let's inside this node create the total with another name inside total sim, another total. Let's say it will be ROS_py.wait for service spawn. Then we have the function. I could do it from a terminal, but why if I am a programmer, right? Oh yeah, then I have to import testing. And also I want to call this function with name victim. Why not? And I want to change this topic. Well, I want to have the opportunity to change this topic whether to total one, or to victim. And I can do it from the parameter, of course, to change this part of the string to the parameter. But I can do it with another utility of launch file. It is called remap. So now, if I just run this launch file as it is, it will create two totals, total one and the victim, and it will send the comments to total one. Once again, let's just check it. Yes, there are two totals, and only one of them moves. Now I want it to spawn another total, but I want the first total to stay on the one place and the second total to move. That means, well, let me launch it again and show RQT graph. RQT graph. In other words, come on, launch, please. In other words, I want to change this arrow to this one. Yeah, I want to stop publishing here and to publish only here. Okay. For this or for this, it doesn't. Well, it matters, but okay. Let me start from the beginning. I'm very excited. I want to say everything from the very beginning, and quickly. There is a tag called remap. I can change the name of topic. It doesn't matter if I publish to the topic or I'm subscribed to this topic. Well, somewhere I know that somewhere in this node, it's code.py, there is a topic named turtle one. Let me just copy to avoid typos. Turtle one CMDL, and I want to remap it to topic called victim CMDL. And now when I run this node in this launch file, it will find the topic with this name and substitute it with topic of this name. Let's check. So now the one total moves, and now I forgot to close the tag. And now the second total moves. And if I update the equity graph, I will see that the translator publishes the message to victim CMDL and not to total one CMDL. I also can put remap not here, but here. I can change the default topic total one CMDL to victim CMDL. How do you think what would happen if I add this line to node total sim? How do you think what would change over here? Nice. Can you please draw and what does it mean? Okay. We expect this line also. We expect that no, how to say it? No, not this line. We expect that there will be no this topic at all. Let's check it. How can we draw? You can put your mouse to the upper part and to say and to find the button of commenting. But please don't do it too many times. Don't interrupt the lecture. Well, something is wrong. I mean that expectation and reality didn't match. And why didn't it perform the remap? That is undefined behavior. Turtle one CMDL. That is interesting. Maybe, well, didn't say anything. That is interesting. Okay, if I remove this remap from here, translator. And now what? Yeah, I just previously just forgot to save the launch file. Now it's correctly. The translator publishes only to victim CMDL. The topic that was subscribed was changed from total one to victim, and the publishing topic also was changed. And now both totals move simultaneously. And this is done with remap. So the important thing that you should remember that with remap we can change both publishing and subscribing topics. Of course, we can do it also with parameters. But if you are dealing with already existing node, you will want to use remap if you want to change the name of the topic. Well, so as you can see, the launch file is the very powerful instrument. It can provide the parameters, it can provide the changing name of topics, it can even provide the launching of several nodes simultaneously. The update for the homework is to create a launch file for all your nodes. In that task, when you want to make one total move after another, you have to put the total sim in the launch file, maybe even total sim TLOP key in exactly the same launch file, and your node that processes that publishes the comments to one of the totals also should be in the same launch file. So instead of launching several nodes with separate terminals, I want you to launch only one launch file. Okay, are there any questions? Is it clear what we did today? How does it work? About services, about launch files, launch file tasks? Just ignore them. Arduino ROS is also not the part of this course. It's just a redundant part of this file. So an important part of the launch files is in these two slides. All right. If there are no questions, then I hope I won't forget to send you the mails with the home task. And I hope I won't forget to upload this video to the YouTube. If I forget to do it, please don't hesitate to email me. All right. Thank you all for your attention. Goodbye.